This first poem, Spring, is about luck and fate, and it was prompted by a congruence of events that occurred one spring a while ago. I have a friend who's also a poet anesthesiologist, and his daughter, who was a senior in high school at the time, had been on a senior class trip and fallen off of a third-story balcony while she was away on this trip. She was quite lucky, and she recovered completely, but the memory of how closely that disaster had almost hit that family stayed with them quite a while, and also with me. At about the same time, my son, who was 11 years old, began having these terrible headaches, and we thought it was the onset of migraine, which was compatible with family history. But the headaches were so unremitting that his pediatrician felt that he should have an MRI scan. So MRI scanners are extremely loud. They're poundingly loud. And of course, it was also unnerving being in the scanner room waiting to see what the result would be. So with that pounding noise and the waiting, I felt like a pendulum was swinging, and there was this possibility for good fate or poor fate to come out of that staccato noise. And again, we were lucky, and the scan was normal, and his childhood wasn't truncated in any way. But on the other hand, I'm an anesthesiologist at a veterans hospital, and certainly there at work, things are not so lucky for the patients. There's a tremendous amount of very debilitating disease and chronic illness, terrible infections, cancer that's quite advanced. So at work, it can be quite the opposite sense of the outcome. And yet, overall, spring is a time of renewal. There's new growth rising towards the light and hope for the future. Sometimes I think it's quite difficult to reconcile feelings of gratitude with sorrow and the potential for sorrow, and to grapple with the disturbing sense that at least this time I had been spared that scythe-like stroke of the pendulum.